Evening, everybody. Since this is an impromptu, I'm going to give some time for people to get in here. Hopefully, everybody's got the whoop. Sorry about that. Anyway, going to give everybody a little time to get in here, so um, you can go grab a beverage, go to the potty, whatever you need to do. Take the dog for a quick walk. A quick walk, though. Hammer down. Boy, you got that right. Hey, Jen. Farmers, Sandra, Matt, Catherine, Omelette, Chris Thompson, Tommy White, Rock Girl, hey. It's kind of going to be interesting to see what everybody's doing on a late Saturday night. Okay, Mr. B, I saw that. Um, I don't know if I want to admit that, but you can. Oh, yes, man, they got spanked. Well, no, they didn't get spanked, but just didn't have enough to match up with the Rams. I'm hoping we get two good games tomorrow. Yeah, that Dallas run defense didn't look so good tonight. There we go. Let's go Chargers. Go Chiefs. Oh, Dallin, did you put money? How much did you put down? Chargers will pull the upset. What's the line on that game? Anybody know on the Chargers and New England? Like 6, maybe? Anybody know? Oh, Bears fan. Ouch. That was a tough loss last week. Yeah, they did. I think they did choke. I would talk about how long I've been a Chargers fan, but that would date me, so I won't talk about John Hadel and Keith Lincoln and Lance Allworth. Not sure. -4. Oh, did that start higher, Mr. B? If you know, did that start higher? Kim, you watched a pitiful video with me in it. Oh, that's interesting. Merlin Olsen. I think Merlin was. I've read it in books, Burgundy. Okay, history books. Uh, hello, Cherry. Okay, I thought it was higher than that. I'm not sure. I wasn't sure. The -4. I thought it was minus. I thought they were all four of them were about 5 or 6. Hello, Becky. Hello, Ed. Little Monster Pants on old school Montana to Rice. Oh boy, yeah, that pass to Dwight Clark. You know that year, just to give you a little history. Um, that year that San Francisco, um, who did they beat? That was against Dallas, and they went to the Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals. Believe it or not, that was in Detroit, and I was a security guard for that. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, gosh, Mike, I don't know if I should let you in here. I really don't. Anybody have an idea about that? Because this is my house, and when I open it up to let people in, um, they got to be respectful. They can't come in and mess up the furniture and break the windows. Pro football talk. No, Mr. Magoo, it's not. Anyway, I was security for that Super Bowl in Detroit. Cold, cold, cold. Cincinnati came back in the second half. I think it was 21 to or 20 to nothing at halftime. San Francisco up. Cincinnati came back in the second half. San Francisco kicked 2 field goals and ended up winning 26-21, if I recall. Mike, you put up a video, and everybody's going to talk about it. Okay, you're skating on thin ice, and I hope you saw my reply to your comment just a little while ago, because I was respectful when we went on with Mr. Burgundy. I'm done with that. Oh God, Lions. Howitzers in the house. Kim Arno, hey. Okay, so it looks like we've got a few from the other side, and that's fine. We can get started. All right, I think we all know why we're here. There's been a couple of videos put up, some doxing videos. You don't know how you're skating on thin ice. Do you want to go? You honestly want to go there now, Mike? Because I will. I'll go there with you. Did you see my comments to you? Because if you didn't, I'll give you a chance to go read them. Go ahead and put you now. Okay. Um, see ya. This is a no convict zone, by the way. So we just took care of that. We had that. Mr. Burgundy was nice enough to sponsor that conversation about the Melissa Ramirez video, and there was a lot of back and forth on that. And Mr. Burgundy was involved with all of it, and he was trying to set it up. And the only thing that I was really, and correct me, Burgundy, if I'm misremembering any of this, but my only interest in doing that was to ask questions about the video. Um, and there was talk about, well, let's do a debate, and in my mind, a debate's for a presidential election, or it's a high school club. Debates about ideas and concepts and thoughts and opinions. It's not about facts. So so we finally got it together, and Mike seemed to have the impression that I was not going to ask I'm not going to allow him to ask questions. And so, before that, the 4 or 5 days, he went out on Facebook and talked. I was a chicken shit and I was batshit crazy. And then the night of the video of the debate, that he wanted to call it a debate, he did a video in his car, all about Paladin, all about intimidation, all about all this kind of stuff. And so, and he was whining about, well, I wasn't going to allow him to ask any questions. So, no, there's no way, Burgundy. That's never going to happen. Maybe in another life. I told somebody in an email one time, uh, maybe he and I could get together at some point, but not in this life. He's already chosen his path. But anyway, so, I watched part of his video in the car talking his crap like he always does. Oh, well, the Paladin's not going to let me ask any questions, and he was whining and all this kind of stuff. So the first thing I did when we got in the interview, I said, "Okay, ask your questions." Well, he didn't have any. So I went through my questions and I said, "Okay, ask your questions." He didn't have any still. So I'm just, guys, and I'm sorry. I'll try to I'll try to chill here a little bit, but I'm sick of this. I'm tired of this. This threat, this intimidations, um, the bullying. It's exercise yard mentality is what it is. Oh, has Eddie got something? What about the ground rules? Oh, you want to go through that, Eddie? Okay, you're on thin ice too, but go ahead, Mr. B. No, Eddie, I think Eddie wants to know if I'm telling the truth. So go ahead, Mr. B. You were involved in that whole pre thing. And anybody can go back and listen to it, because I said, ask your questions, Mike. Before we even got started, I said, ask your questions. He didn't have any. When I got through asking my questions about the video, because I came to this investigation late, he made the video, Eddie. I've given him a chance, Diana. He's had all the chances he's going to have. I am going to do a live with Becky, Mr. Magoo. She's been nice enough to ask me on her show, and I was going to try to get there tonight, but this whole thing in the community is going to take precedence over that, and I hope she'll forgive me and allow me another chance to come on her show. And just to be clear, just so everybody understands this, because this is the way it goes with him is he tells his own story and he tells his own narrative about what went down. And I didn't say a word. I had to listen to this for 4 or 5 days and I did not say a damn word about it. I just let him talk. I just let him go out on Facebook and call me a chicken shit and call me batshit crazy. And I didn't say a word to him. So I've had it with him. Okay. So any more questions about that live stream with Melissa Ramirez video? Because I just wanted to get information. I came to this late. I didn't have the information. I would ask people, and sometimes they had an answer, and other times they didn't. And I made some comments to Mike in a live chat with someone else. I don't even remember who it was, Weg or maybe Mr. Burgundy or somebody, and that's how it got started. So I just wanted to ask questions, and I did ask questions. So I want to talk about these videos, okay? I think we know who's doing it. Who's made the threats? Who always makes the threats? Who makes the intimidating comments? I think it's obvious. And I'd like to throw this out to the group. Are we okay with this? Okay, we're not going to get into is it fake or not. So CL, just calm down, okay? We're not going to go through that crap tonight. It's not about that. What it's about is, are we going to allow someone to come into this community and threaten and dox people? When does it end? I mean, when does it end? Because you know what this does? What this does is it sends a subtle message to everybody else. Okay, this sends a subtle message to everybody else that if you make the wrong comment someplace, or you make a video that someone, God help us, someone might disagree. We're in the United States still, but someone might disagree with it, and so they're going to start doxing you. I mean, this is extortion, guys. My friend, what are you talking about, CL? My friend, it's okay for my friend. My friend started doxing somebody. Wasn't she your friend too? Did she not spend hours? Do I even know? Well, you got the floor. Threats? What? What were the threats? Is she going to show a picture of your house where you lived? We're going to stay here and we're going to get this sorted out, people. You apparently don't know, LOL. Well, then we're all here, CL, so tell us all about it. I mean, and if anybody doesn't like what I'm talking about, get the hell out. Just go. Oh, you'll do a live. So you want to come in here and say things and then you don't want to give us examples. Okay. Well, we can talk about Trump, Becky. We can talk about all kinds of things. He said he'd destroy her clear. Who said they would destroy who? Secret. I don't know, Eddie. How many times? Do you know how many times she has? Let's get into that. How many times has she? Because if she's filed a false police report, okay, Becky, I got you. If she's filed a false police report, she should have got charged with it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a false police report. That's against the law. So, how many times, Eddie? You want to tell us? I'm waiting, Eddie. How many times has she filed false police reports? Do you know? Yeah, exactly. When was she charged? How many times has she been charged for filing a false police report? Agreed, Diana. This is, we can all have just the police records. Well, how many times has she filed a police report, Eddie? Do you even know? Or are you just getting this from Turber? Yes, for United States, that's exactly right. Public. And public records. Well, what's in the public records, Eddie? Tell us. And if you don't like what we're talking about, get the hell out of here, okay? I don't want to hear you complain because this is what we're going to talk about. This is bullshit and this is going on in our community and we're going to stop it right now. Who's going to be next? Who's going to be the next one to come out with a comment that somebody doesn't like? Well, you're not stupid. You don't need Turber. Well, you need to learn how to spell riddance. I know that. It's Riddance, not Ridence. So you going to tell us, Eddie, or not? Are you going to tell us how many times KL has filed a false police report? Or are you just going to throw shit out there? We're waiting, Eddie. We're all waiting. You brought this up, so finish it. Okay, everybody, we're going to talk about what's going on in the community. No questions about Aldine or no questions about anything. Okay. And if you don't like it, you can go. Okay, Eddie, I guess so. So throwing stuff out there. Oh, go to hell. I'm a pussy. Really? Yeah. Okay. See you later, Eddie. Go play in the street. Yeah, that's what they've got. It's just threats. He's gone. No way, Mr. Magoo. He's not worth it. Okay, so what does everybody think about these two doxing videos? And we've had more promised. And this is extortion, people. Whenever you threaten somebody to do, you're going to do something to harm them. If they don't take a certain action, it's extortion. You're right, Diana. We shouldn't do it at all. Is anyone else doing it? Has anyone else done it? Well, why does the Jackal Pack every time, there's been three of these videos. The first one got taken down, then it got reproduced, then it got reposted, and then there was a second one today. And the Jackal Pack comes in and starts talking, starts making comments. Oh, well, you know, We don't agree with this, but she's got it coming. She deserves it. That's a lot of fucking bullshit. You people gonna go for that? What if it's you next? What if you make the wrong comment somewhere and it's you next? Then what? I mean, this is still the United States of America. We can still express opinions. And I'm not going to get into the semantics about crisis actors and dolls and all this other nonsense because that gets spun by the convict. And I'm sick of it. How can it be stopped? Debbie W. I don't know, but we as a community have got to stop it. On this last video, the last time I checked it, there's 11 thumbs up. Who are the 11 thumbs up? Are you any of you in here that gave it a thumbs up? Is there anybody in here that did that? I'm sorry, Howie. Do your question again. Starless Mystery. I know you don't, Diana. You've made that clear. But here's the thing. Why what is so concerning to somebody that they would basically go to that extent? That's my question. You're gone, Eddie. And I just got notified they're down. Well, you know what? Fuck, it's too late because they both got downloaded. All the description got copied and pasted and all the comments. We got a saying where I come from. You fuck with the bull and you get the horns. Yeah, okay. That's not yeah, okay. I see what you're talking about. Howie, you made vids about crisis actors and took them down. I thought things were cool. Well, obviously not because they mentioned you, they mentioned me, they mentioned KL, and they mentioned Cornwall, and then they seem to forget about the three guys and they zero in on KL, which is just a bunch of crap. That's right, Jen. They do want the people want the truth, but they don't want to discuss it. Let me just I'm going to say this because you know as an investigator, and I tried to explain this in maybe one of the live streams, it's tough when you do this kind of an investigation, okay? It is very, very, very difficult. And I heard another creator talk about reading the autopsies. There was one day when I was reading through the autopsies and I had to stop and I had to cry, okay? And I don't mind admitting it because when you read what happened to people, the damage the bullet did, and you think about it and you think about their last few minutes of life, it's very difficult. Okay. This is difficult stuff. So we're all sitting here and we're looking at all of the videos. We're reading all the statements. We're looking at all the evidence that gets put out. Well, guess what? That Melissa Ramirez video is another piece of evidence. So you have to look at it. And yes, we're all here because we feel for the victims, okay? That's what got us here. I mean, I have plans. I still had plans to do something as a result of my investigation to raise funds for the victims. Okay, so I don't want to hear anybody say uh, that I'm not here for that. Okay, this is for the victims. This is to find closure for the victims. And I've talked to victims, and Mike Turber had to had to make some comment about, well, I cited somebody that I talked to and I didn't say what they told me. Well, I'm not going to do that. It's called confidential informant if you want to get technical, and I'm not going to say what they said because I talked to them in confidence. I'm not like Eddie Schmitz where I'm going to go out and make a video and I'm going to put their face all over the place, and I'm going to do it under a pretext that they don't know what's going on. That's putting people in danger. And I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. So anyway, that video goes up and we're all going to take a look at it. And I took a look at it and I've already expressed what I thought. But there's an overriding thing. Why doesn't LVMPD want that video? Why doesn't the FBI want that video? You know what the answer is? The answer is because it has no evidentiary value. So you got to look at why doesn't it have any evidentiary value? And that's all I'm going to go on that. Okay? But this is difficult. So if you want to just go so far with your investigation, but not go all the way, then maybe you shouldn't be here. Maybe this is not something that you should be doing. Because you got to look at everything. You can't say, "Oh, well, certain things are off limits." And the thing of it is, it's like, well, it's Melissa Ramirez's family and all this, and I get that, okay? But has anybody in this community or anywhere expressed any sympathy for Stephen Paddock's family? Oh, well, he's the killer, right? So I guess his family doesn't deserve, they don't deserve any compassion, right? Right, Craig. Nothing should be off limits. That's exactly right. Just keep pissing off survivors seems to be a clear path to the truth. How's that working for you? Oh, is that going to get me Doc's secret? Is that what you're saying? You're not going to be able to get to the truth if you pussyfoot around. You're going to have to get down in the dirt, and you're going to have to go through some tough things. That's all. And if you don't like it, then why? I don't know why people are here, really, if they can't go through that. But anyway, let's get back to Paddock. They leaked these photos, and it's a death stare, and he's got blood coming out of his mouth. If that's Paddock, okay, he's in the death stare. I haven't heard anybody express any compassion for his family. I guess crickets. I mean, if you want to apply that same standard, you ought to go to Turber and say, why did you put that video out? You put that video out, and there's Melissa Ramirez, And that poor girl was left there for how many minutes? 45 minutes or an hour? And you get on me or somebody that questions all of what was going on there, but you don't question the person who put it out. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad he put it out. All right, that's not what I'm saying. I'm glad he put it out because it's quote unquote evidence and we all need to see it. But if you got a problem and you're concerned about her family, you ought to have the have an issue with him putting it out in the first place. Okay, truth seeker, that's fine. But I'm trying to make a point here that we're talking about survivors or we're talking about victims and their families, but it only applies in a certain in certain cases, but it doesn't apply everywhere. Well, that's bullshit. What's that about? Anybody want to answer that question? What the hell is that about? Mr. Magoo, that's got nothing to do with being vetted on Fox before he put it out. That Fox has got nothing to do with it. Okay. So okay. So I guess I made my point about that. Okay. So what do we do about this, people? Because I'm going to tell you right now, and you can take this back to Turber. I am urging KL to take this to the FBI. And I don't know if she's going to or not, but I hope she does. And I hope they look into it. Because when they look into Turber's background and then they look at some of these threats that he's made to her, uh, he may have some questions that he's going to have to answer. When we're talking about somebody's family and we're doxing him for I don't know what's the reason for that. Why is it so important? Why is it so important for him to dox somebody? And oh, I know, he's going to come back. Oh well, you can't prove it. You can't prove it. No, we'll just let the FBI prove it. They'll do an IP trace. They'll prove it. We don't have to worry about that. But we know who it is. And what was it? JM. The first one went up as JM. Nobody heard of them, and now it's Elijah Michaels or whatever. Oh, Elijah, you've been around forever, right? You know exactly what's going on. The first time you just go create a channel and come up. I just wonder if Eddie or if he's put people like Eddie and other people in harm's way, because I guarantee you, if something goes down, you guys are going to be put in the path of the bus. So you better think about that because this is serious stuff we're talking about. This is serious stuff. I mean, we should be able to reasonably discuss things, and if at the end of the day we disagree, then we agree to disagree and we go on. That's what America is all about. That's what the First Amendment is all about. And you people, some people, after the last live stream when we had to censor some people and kick them out, well, you know what? They've all got their own way to put videos out. Okay, so I'm not censoring them. I'm just getting them out of my house because they're not behaving themselves. Oh, secret safe. So you're saying Turber didn't do it? Who did it then? Because you and your jackal pack always go in and start making comments. I mean, you don't think people recognize that? It's just amazing to me. This comes out, I guess we started it with the Twilight Zone, and then Truth Bomb's video came out, and then there was a whole, I don't know how many comments, and then we get the people that are involved there. We get threatened. You got to take that down. You've got to do this. You've got to do this. You've got to apologize. You've got to do that. That's a bunch of bullshit. And like I said, FBI will do an IP trace, so it'll come out. I mean, he can deny all he wants to, but I think it's pretty obvious who it is. Who? Everybody, tell me who does all the threatening to sue? Who does all the intimidation? Who demands apologies? But he thinks he can go anonymous. He thinks he can create these other accounts or whoever. Maybe it's not him, but I bet he's behind it. And the IP trace is going to get it. I'll connect him. Okay, Diana, I'll connect him because you don't know everything that's been going on. Oh, I better be right. Let that son of a bitch sue me. I will. You know what? You tell that son of a bitch that I will. You have his process server call me and I will meet him to get the fucking papers. Okay? No, I won't be, Wally. He wants to sue me. Fuck, man. Yeah, do it. Have him sue me. We'll get into discovery and he'll be sorry. He'll be sorry he ever met me. Were they taken down? Does anybody know if they were taken down? They were taken down? Okay. All right. Well, that's good. So maybe this bullshit can cease. Maybe we can stop all of this. But I'm not going to be intimidated. So if he wants to pick on somebody, I'll take it. Okay? Back off, KL. Back off anybody. Nobody deserves this. Nobody. But if he wants to come after somebody, let him come after me. And you people out there that know him and talk to him every fucking day, you tell him that. Come after me. I am sick of this. And I am a private investigator. And believe me, people, I could dox a lot of people. Okay? I could do it. But I don't. Because that's crossing the line. Okay, they are down. Well, that's good. Okay, so I guess we're done for the night. I mean, this is unbelievable to me. Okay, does anybody else have anything to say about that? Because it's late and I'm ready to go to bed. I know, Kim. I know. I've heard. I didn't realize that we couldn't come into a place being US citizens and express our opinions and views without somebody threatening us and basically playing convict tactics with us. That's right, Becky. When a child's involved, that's over the line. No, they aren't okay, Dallin. They aren't okay. And if he wants to sue somebody, fucking sue me, man. Sue me. Oh, God, I'd love to be sued by him. I don't know what it would be for, but if he wants to do it, let him do it. I mean, I'm just sick of it, guys. I'm sick of it. And I want to get this out of my system tonight. And I want to be done with it. And I want to put it behind us. And I want to go forward with the investigation. That's all. And I hope everybody else does too. I mean, is that not why we're all here? Seriously? And you better believe this ties into some bigger things. You better believe that because it's true. And this is not, uh, I'm not going to apologize, but this is not my style. I don't, this takes away from the investigation. This time takes away from the investigation. And I am had it up to here. Okay. Now let's all get back to the investigation. Let's treat each other with respect. We can agree to disagree and go on. I mean, nobody is forcing anybody to watch anybody's channel. Diana X, I know you don't agree with anything that I say, and that's fine. But I don't know why you come and if you watch my next video, why? I mean, I wouldn't sit here and watch the damn Home Shopping Network all day long. I don't know. I just don't get that. Does anybody have any insight that they can enlighten me on why people do that? Why do people spend so much time going into watching people's videos and watching their work, and all they do, and you know who I'm talking about. There's a handful of them. I don't get that. Can somebody explain that to me? I mean, go somewhere else for God's sake. Why would you waste time watching somebody that you don't agree with or something that you don't agree with? Let me tell you something. I hate horror movies. Okay? I hate them. I don't like the blood, I don't like the guts, I just don't like them. All right? I never watch a horror movie. Why would I sit here and watch horror movie after horror movie after horror movie just so I could complain about all of it? It's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't get it. Can somebody tell me, Diana, you're here, hon, tell me why you watch my videos if you don't agree with any of them. But you don't agree with it. So why you say that's the full picture, but you don't agree with anything. So obviously I don't have anything to contribute. That's what I'm saying. In your opinion, I'm not contributing anything. So why do you watch them? I'm not picking on anybody, Mr. Magoo. I'm just saying I know Diana is here. I know she does not agree with anything I've put out, and she has made that very clear. So I am asking the question. Gatekeepers. Interesting. Well, Diana, so you think I'm going to all of a sudden turn the corner and put stuff out that you agree with? Is that what you're saying? I agree, Deb Sampson. Agreed, Yimmy. I mean, if people believe the narrative, then why are they here? Because the narrative, that's the last word. So go on. Well, I just don't understand it. Go on with your life. I just don't get it. I don't. And I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. I'm just trying to understand why someone would spend time watching things that they don't agree with. Oh, you're interested in the financial background. Okay, so I guess there is something I've done right. Okay. All right. Mr. Magoo, that's why we have a live stream with the chat open so people can communicate to me and I can answer questions and I can ask questions and get answers. That's the whole idea of having the chat open and doing a live stream. God, what a question. Are you new? Okay, so, okay, Diana, all right. So let me ask you this, Diana. Do you think that body on the floor in 135, do you think they had liver mortis or not? Just curious. Yeah, cranky. You better believe it, Fast News. I'm cranky. Well, that's probably right too, Jay Gunderson. Hey, Angela. Yeah, body was dead for hours. That's right. So if the body was dead for hours, because nobody, I don't think, has debunked that. You know, there's some people out there that claim that they were the first ones who talked about that, and then they'll do a video and they'll talk about Paddock and what he did. So it's like, which is it? And you realize that if that body, whoever it is, Paddock, whoever it is, that body was dead for hours before the shooting started. Doesn't that blow up everything? Okay, Diane, I understand. It's just that liver mortis. It's pretty obvious. There's a line there on Paddock's neck. I mean, it's obvious. even in that crappy Bitsko chin cam, it's obvious. Yeah, that's right, Howie. Probably getting a little too close. And I know that's difficult for people to get. I mean, I know it's hard I realize it's difficult concept to embrace. But I hear a lot of people talk about nothing makes sense, nothing makes sense, nothing makes sense. Well, you know what? There's a reason for that. So open your minds, okay? Open your minds. Everybody's trying to fit, not everybody. Pardon me, my bad. Not everybody is trying to fit what they're seeing and reading on the evidence, okay? The evidence drops. They're trying to fit that into what the narrative says. And it doesn't fit. It never has fit. So what does that tell you? And it's just like people just refuse to go there. They just refuse to go there. So again, I ask the question, why are you here? And this is general. Why are people here if they can't open their minds to try to seek the truth? I mean, if you want to, if you're here to seek the truth, then go after it. Okay, go after it. Yeah, shit don't fit. That's right. We go where the truth takes us, where the facts, where the evidence. And that's why that's why I start with the autopsies, because if there's a homicide, that's where you start, because the bodies don't lie. And I can tell you, if you've listened to my autopsy stuff with Dr. Rudd on Jason Goodman, or my autopsy report I did on my own channel, you'll see there's a hell of a lot of stuff that according to the autopsies don't fit what they're telling us. And that's where I start. And Cornwall's another one that just got run out of here. Just got run out of here because he put out ideas, and he put out things that people just refuse to believe or consider. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of problems with those autopsies, and I've dropped enough crumbs, and there are some issues that nobody has picked up on yet. And there are some problems with those autopsies, people, I'm telling you. That's right, farmers. Right, I am to bear. Right. Let the bodies hit the floor. That's a great question, and I can't tell you what I'm gonna do with it because I'm not gonna reveal what's down the road. So take that for what you however you want. I'm not sure, Yemi, about the strobe lights. Cheryl Bull, you're probably right on target. It probably at least 6 hours, maybe 8 hours. And if you go back and look at the lock interrogation report and you even look at the fit report, they talk about the locks being manipulated for 3 or 4 hours. Well, what the hell do you think was going on there? Supposedly Paddock's getting ready to commit mass murder, and he's going in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out of 135 and 134. Does that make sense? Yeah, don't get me started on the ballistics or lack thereof, I should say. I think people think they will be in there, and they might be, but the problem is that it's a little late in the game now because the ballistics should have been in the autopsy reports, and they weren't. Okay, they should have been there because any pathologist that has done gunshot wounds can identify the caliber of the bullet, and they didn't talk about any of them. And they take pictures of the bullets. Those are evidence. They put them in an evidence bag. You've all watched CSI. You know the story. But with the autopsies, we all we have is reports that are 3 to 5 to 6 pages, maybe seven, maybe one was seven. Somebody can correct me on that. Maybe one was seven, but usually they were 3 to 6 pages. Okay, no X-rays, no pictures, no diagrams, no toxicology. Um, Nothing except the report. Suspect is hell, and they redacted the names. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Answer is because they did not want anybody to be able to match the names to the autopsies. And why would that be? Okay, now the chat's going way too fast. No, bodies hit the floor. I'm not going to reveal that. Why would I do that? Why would I give them my game plan? You think I'm here just to mess around? You think you really think I'm here just to get to the truth, and then I'm just going to walk away and say, "Well, I know what the truth is now." What good is that going to do? Seriously, what good is that going to do? I mean, what if we find out that something else went down that night? Do we want to do something to change it? To change this? Or do we just want to have the knowledge that this is what happened, but my God, it could happen again somewhere else? Yeah, Becky, that's exactly right. You're exactly right. So the question is, and I don't know where everybody lives. I'm going to pick some places. What if it happens in Houston next, or Dallas, or St. Louis, or Portland, Oregon, or Phoenix, Arizona, or Tampa, Florida? What then? I mean, when is this craziness going to stop? We're the ones that's got to stop it. Nobody else is going to do it. So to me, let the bodies hit the floor, just to reiterate, it's a little bit more than just trying to find the truth, because then when we get the truth, we're going to have to do something with it. And I've talked about I've talked about the foreknowledge. There's foreknowledge out there, people. Soros, 1.1,850,000 shares shorted. The officers and directors of Mandalay Bay sold their stock. What does that tell you? That's right, Becky. Action then needs to be taken. Well, if Elijah is here, why don't you identify yourself, Elijah? Let's talk. After all, you're the one who created this whole thing in the first place. But we know who you are. You're hiding behind a fake name. But come on out. Let's talk. I'm to bear. I don't know if they bought it back or not. I'd have to check into that. I have not checked into that. Starless mystery. That's an understatement. Thank you, Marie D. That's right. Yeah, exactly, Diana. If Elijah's here, gosh, speak up. Make yourself known. But I doubt if they will because they want to be anonymous. See, the whole thing's anonymous. Okay, Jay Gunderson. All right, guys. I think I'm done with what I had to say. And everybody, this is not going to be posted, so this is just us talking. I invited everybody into my house to have a discussion. So this is not going to go up, so don't be looking for it because it's not going up, okay? And you guys can email me anytime. I put if you know if you don't have my email, it's in I put it in the description box of most of the videos. And oh, that reminds me. You too, Becky. You have a good evening. Whitehatsreport.com is my website. Is the White Hats website. If you've never been there, you should go there. Look at report 36, look at report 41, look at report 63. I've been around. We've been on the internet for um, we've been on the internet for since 2010, November 2010. So I'm not somebody that just appeared. We've had a presence since 2010. Whitehatsreport.com. Go look at the reports. You'll see what we're all about. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you, Diana, for hanging in there with us. I appreciate you coming in to talk and give your opinion. It's It's just as important in as everybody else's, and I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you've shown that we can agree to disagree, and we can still stay respectful. Okay, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for being here, and this will this will end the live chat. Paladin out.